say they're tired and overjoyed is an understatement. British explorer Ed Stafford and his Peruvian walking mate Cho Rivera have completed their mission. They have walked from sea to sea, Peru to Brazil, walking the entire length of the Amazon River. That is 6,400 kilometres in 860 days. The final two-week push saw some of the longest daily distances, even leading Ed to the point of physical exhaustion the night before last. After a few hours for forced rest, Ed and Cho finished their trek earlier today, and we caught up with Ed and his mother, who's in London.
I could never quit. Cho's exactly the same as me. I mean, we both just say to each other, it would be embarrassing to go home and not actually finish it. It sounds melodramatic, doesn't it, to say that we would have preferred to die than not go home, but it would only be something like death that would have stopped us, because you can't shout about doing something as big as this and then not see it through to the end, really. So no, it was never an option.
Well, speaking of home, I'd like to bring in your mother, who's actually at CNN London at the moment, Barbara Stafford. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Barbara. You must be a very proud woman today.
Oh, I am. Hi, Ned.
Hi, Mum. How are you?
I'm just fine. It's all so weird and strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
How were you able to keep in touch with each other?
Is that to me or Mum?
Both of you?
Yeah.
Well,
Mum and I normally keep in contact by email. She's good at the old emails. And so actually I've been in contact with Mum quite a lot by emails, but we rarely get to speak to each other because it costs a fortune via the sat phone. So nice to hear your voice, Mum.
Yes, yours too. I can't work the Skype. I've never learned how to do that, so I don't try. But we do have a lot of contact.
Is there anything you'd like to say to him now that you do have him on the line, so to speak?
No, he knows how I feel about it all.
I can't wait to see you, Mum, and I can't wait to see Janie and Archie. That will be incredible after 2.5 years.
Yeah, everybody's really excited about you coming home now.
Mrs. Stafford,
thanks, Mum.
You must have been very concerned at times over the last 2.5 years. What was your biggest concern as he walked the Amazon River?
I had 3 days when I was anxious. I've been fine about the rest because I've not really heard about anything until after the events. But when he got stung by a scorpion and I got to know it through a Facebook message, that was a bit worrying. And then when he was going to cross a tributary the other week and I hadn't heard after about 4 days, I got worried. But actually he hadn't set out, so that was a non-worry. Was worried just for a few hours yesterday after his collapse. It was very nice to hear that he was up and off again. And I've really been a bit worried until now about how his health is, but he seems fine, so I shan't worry anymore.
Excellent. And how would you describe your son?
Well, I just think he's fantastic. I don't know what to say to that question. I think what he's done is absolutely amazing, and I am very proud of him.
And Ed, you must be blushing there under the sun on the beach in Brazil.
Yeah, I am somewhat.
If I could ask you, there's another email that we picked up on your website today, and it says, you've got guts all right, Ed. What are you going to do for an encore? All the best, mate. What are you planning to do, or is that just further along the horizon at the moment?
Well, it's not. It is well under planning at the moment, but I'm planning to deploy in September 2011. But the problem is that this industry is one based on ideas, basically, and ideas are the precious thing, and so I'm having to keep that close to my chest, and I'm afraid it's secret for the moment.
Ed Stafford there on the beach earlier today, having completed his 2.5-year trek across the Amazon, the first man to do so. It's easy to forget just how spectacular the Amazon rainforest really is. It covers nearly 6.5 million kilometres. It spans 9 countries, 2/3 of the continent. Some 60% of the forest is actually within Brazil. Its vegetation produces about 20% of the Earth's oxygen, and scientists believe that the canopy may contain half the world's species. These include over 500 mammal species, 175 lizard species, and 1/3 of the world's birds. Well, Suzanne Pelletier is the executive director of Rainforest Foundation US, an organization taking a rights-based approach to rainforest protection. And she joins us from our studios in New York. Suzanne, we just heard there Ed's observations that the deforestation in the Amazons go largely unchecked. What's the most serious concern from your point of view?
Well, I think the three main issues with the three main causes of deforestation in the Amazon are large-scale government infrastructure projects, which are happening throughout the Amazon. Logging, of course, increasingly its extractive industry. There's incredible amounts of oil and gas exploration going on. Even in the Peruvian Amazon right now, about 70% of the Peruvian Amazon is now leased to oil and gas companies for exploration or extraction. And in Brazil and Colombia, one of the main causes right now is cattle ranching, which is causing the majority of deforestation.
And which country causes you most concern?